Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. The Zambia police castigated for putting a child behind bars. Zambians based in Ukraine arrive home. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the...
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. Raising a generation of young feminist leaders, Executive Director Wamba Wanki says the engagement of traditional leaders in the fight against early child marriages is key in combating the vice. Ms. Wanki states that one of the reasons parents marry off their children at an early age is because of various traditional beliefs.
Child marriage is defined as a formal marriage or informal union that takes place before the age of 18. The practice has been shown to have profound physical, intellectual, psychological, and emotional impacts, especially for girls. Children who are poor, live in rural areas, or are out of school are at risk of marrying young. Government has put up a lot of measures to curb early child marriages in Zambia, such as the National Strategy to End Marriage by 2030.
Because free education is just one part. There are issues from the home, there are issues related to menstrual hygiene, so how are we going to provide sanitary wear, for example? Because we know that some girls come from very poor homes, and that is the reason they have ended up being married off or ended up being pregnant and ultimately married off. So we're trying to deal with the issues that drive child marriage.
Raising a generation of young feminist leaders, Executive Director says traditional leaders should be engaged in the fight against early child marriages.
Socio-economic situation, we also have the different traditional beliefs and values, one being that as soon as a girl attains puberty, she's ready for marriage, and they start preparing her as such. So those are some of the challenges we have faced on the ground. We also have the gender inequality. I think at the center of it all is the inequality that girls face. There are some families that have had to prioritize boys' education because they believe that girls will get married and they'll have their own family and their husbands will support them.
2020, the total number of girls married before the age of 18 remained at approximately 12 million per year. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Stanley Kakubo says the Zambian government is tracking Zambian citizens in Ukraine to ensure that they get to the border and cross over to Poland safely. Speaking when receiving the first group of 95 Zambian citizens from Ukraine, most of whom are students, Mr. Kakubo has appealed for peace between Russia and Ukraine, stating that the cost of war is too costly as it endangers lives and drives people into poverty. Meanwhile, one of the safely evacuated students, Ms. Catalina Manzi, has called for prayers for Zambians who are still in Ukraine, stating that the war is traumatizing.
It was a sigh of relief for officials from the Zambian government and parents as 95 Zambian citizens, most of whom are students, safely disembarked via a chartered airplane at the Zambia Air Force Base on Tuesday night from Ukraine. Families of the affected have been taken to various media platforms, making an appeal to the Zambian government to ensure that their loved ones are safely evacuated. Russia recently launched an attack on Ukraine, which is a European democracy with a population of about 44 million people, after a disagreement in political affiliation. Speaking when welcoming the citizens, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Stanley Kakubo, has reviewed that not all Zambians have been evacuated, as some chose to remain behind at the last minute. He has, however, assured that the government is tracking all movements of Zambians to ensure that they safely cross over to Poland and that those willing to return will be put on commercial flights.
I think we say, like the president always says, we live in a global village, and then a situation of war is a very unfortunate one, and then sometimes you can't predict all outcomes. The lessons that are learned is that we must all move towards a situation where we can always advocate for peace. The cost of war is too much. It takes away the attention from the things that the world ought to concentrate on. Ending poverty. We must end the stage of COVID in the world. We must make sure that our economies are blooming, especially less developed countries like Africa. We shouldn't have to concentrate so much on war. We must concentrate on the economic diplomacy. There's absolutely no strain between Zambia and Russia. It's not, the vote at the UN, I must emphasize, is not against any nation. It is against war.
Meanwhile, Charge d'Affaires for Germany, Ms. Tokas Chileshe, has called for unity in such times.
We agreed with African missions in Berlin that we were going to the border not only to look out for our own nationals but others. So this is what we're doing as a mission. As they were coming out, if we identify someone, a student from Zimbabwe, DRC, Tanzania, take them on board and put them in a bus and take them to a place where they could get some comfort.
An evacuated student, Catalina Manzi, has spoken out on the situation in Ukraine.
Honestly speaking, it was quite terrifying, traumatizing. We might be physically okay at the moment, right, but then mentally, I don't think we are fit. It was very difficult to move from one point to another. For you understand this war, everyone is in panic. Transport was not easily accessible. You can't choose roads, you had to use the trains to reach where you have to be. And having using the trains, since everybody wants to get to Poland and everything else, it was rough to say.
The Zambian government has revealed that the students will be helped to go back and finish their studies once the war ends. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Lions Club of Chipata has donated various food items and groceries worth more than 20,000 kwacha to Maguero School for the Blind and Shishir homes in Chipata District, Eastern Province. The Lions Club delegation was led by District 413 Zambia District Governor Emmanuel Kangwa. The non-governmental organization has continued helping vulnerable communities in Zambia, especially those people living with disability.
The Lions Club is helping various vulnerable communities in Zambia, especially people living with disabilities. The club donated various food items and groceries worth more than 20,000 kwacha to Maguero School for the Blind and Cheshire Homes Zambia in Chipata District, Eastern Province. The Lions Club team was led by District 413 Zambia District Governor Emmanuel Kangwa.
So we came here to share our love with you. We came here to also see how you are doing and what challenges you have. But in coming, we said we cannot go empty-handed. Things are hard, but we will still go with some few things for our children, for our friends, for our dear ones, so that as we leave them, they will remain with something to use and to eat as well.
Maguero School for the Blind head boy, Evans Zulu, welcomed the gesture by the Lions Club.
We really appreciate so much for the things that you have brought to us. May God bless you. We are very happy to have you here as the pupils at Maguero School for the Blind.
Sister Petronera gave a vote of thanks on behalf of the children at Cheshire Homes in Chipata District.
From the very start of Cheshire Homes, or its existence, Lions has been there to support us. So we are very happy that you have remembered us after so many years, from 08 to 2022. You said, let's go back to the roots. Because if it wasn't you, it was going to be very hard for us to survive, especially from the initial stage. So we really appreciate your gesture.
The ultimate goal should be to give service to the little ones, to support this Cheshire Home so that it continues. We do not want Cheshire Home to go down because the job that you do is really, really critical to our community to our nation and to the world at large.
The Lions Club delegation also inspected the kitchen and dining hall at Magwero School for the Blind as a way of appreciating the challenges at the school. Sylvester Chimba for Zanis in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
In other news, the Zambia police has come under public scrutiny for subjecting a child to being in police cell for a crime he did not commit, following a picture that has gone viral depicting the child in custody. This was after police in Lusaka at Northgate Police Post arrested Esther Stali of Lusaka's Chazanga compound and detained the woman with her child for 6 days. Camnet TV spoke to the mother and father of the boy to get to the root of the matter.
With children making up almost 50% of the population, Zambia struggles to meet the needs of its childhood age population. Subjected to severe poverty, Zambian children are faced with challenges such as malnutrition, impoverishment, educational disadvantages, child marriages, and hard labor. The Zambia police have come under public scrutiny for subjecting a child in police cell for a crime he did not commit. This was after police in Lusaka at Northgate Police Post arrested Esther Stari of Lusaka's Chazanga compound and detained the woman and the child for about a week. She was only assisted out of police custody by a well-wisher. She explained to this journalist what transpired.
So after I 4 crates Nabwana kongolesa hapo, then night after yana boy aenda mba bwana si ya fridge one obwa pesa kama pwanyi kama fridge waunonge kama. So after wabwera panga mbati tipendelane ndepansamba kupendelana bwa pesa ndrama na kongolesa basona so then wambili mwana pwanyi kama fridge Demo nsambia kuvutanana pakata pia pesa katapekana police kupenda ndrama ya bwafika 1 2 3 1 pin 3.
So manje pani wanakugani pa police wanakugani pamoja na mwana kwa mnaenda kwanchi ku police
naenda pamoja na mwana.
And this is the bar where she used to wake, and the father to the child is disappointed that her child was subjected to inhuman conditions.
Panezo pelekera mwana mungwala sorry not mungwala what's this Midday pana milk it ndiye pamene nando peza ati awamai wali mu custody ndiye pamene wajanabu aniofya wajoza iwe kubeva nonga tuuze. That's when nabwana chita capture ja picture ya mwana wanga. Then at the end of the day nabwana was is it in order, is it in constitution, in the laws of Zambia kuti even vikazingala vindu munjiraso wanza uchedwa na kuchedwa enda kuli konse tikulonga. So my concern is about the health of that child because my child has been amenanala kwa ni mai wake of which netete wake nivo mera tunzali pira, but how come mwana wanga pezeke mu situation yaso?
This is the matter that has grabbed the attention of child rights activists like Henry Kawe.
This confirms what the Minister of Home Affairs said a few weeks ago, that the police were involving themselves in activities that are not to their level. So we appeal to the Zambia police to ensure that those things don't happen. But we want to urge the public to be sensitive towards children. If you expose such a child in such a situation, it is, infringing on their dignity. We need to ensure that we protect the dignity of every child.
On this Women's Day, Ms. Sitali is appealing to well-wishers to help her with capital to sustain her livelihood.
Pembeko chabanga nitanze kondrama business kozi singa kwanise kusenzera mundu ngaende kujere. For at least nitanze kuchena amba che business yanga.
These challenges are common in low-income areas and people continue to face them, thus magnifying the perception that justice is a preserve of the rich. The Police Public Relations Unit could not provide response to the matter by broadcast time. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. The Zambia police castigated for putting a child behind bars. Zambians based in Ukraine arrive home. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.